I'm excited for this video, y'all. This is a collab with my bestie, DionLorah.PhD aka Grace, and this was Nina's idea, so shout out to Nina as well. Nina doesn't do content, but I will try to find her Instagram and put that below, and I will put Grace's YouTube below, and from her YouTube you can get to her Instagram as well. So Nina had an idea for me to pair Madame Violet with Violet Thoughts. Madame Violet is from Notoriously Morbid. Violet Thoughts is from Spellcast Beauty, which is the sister brand to Notoriously Morbid. I have a 15%, yes y'all, 15% discount code down below, excuse me. It is affiliated. And her idea was a collab with me pairing both of these and Grace using the Nomad New Zealand Stargazing palette, I believe it's called. And I do have a non-affiliated 10% off code with Nomad that I do believe still works. And I wasn't able to use a lot of their stuff, the recent things, because they started using pressed pigments in some of their palettes. And so anyway, I'm gonna show you what these two look like. And I did take a picture, a screenshot from the New Zealand palette from on the Nomad's website. And I took a picture, I don't know what I was going to say, of these two palettes and sent them to Bestie and was like, okay, what are we going for here? And she said pink and purple. These two together have way more pink than purple than the Nomad palette. This is Madame Violet is purple, Violet Thoughts is purple. And I'm excited. So thank you, Nina, for this collab idea, because I have not paired these two before. Look at this. These are all like shifty dual chrome, multi-chrome shades. And this is just a beautiful story. Everything I've done with this palette has been a purple pink look. And at first I was surprised. Let me get this glare off of here. Because the other palettes that look like they would be monochromatic are not, but this one actually really is. And so I'm excited to pair these together. I do think these are going to make a beautiful look, and I'm thinking of using these shades for lower lash line, because this palette by itself is a complete thing, except that the New Zealand one does have, I think, a deep blue purple shifty one, I believe. I will put a picture over here below of what both of these, all three of these palettes look together, so you can see what I am talking about. So I'm excited, and I have out multiple eyeliners, I have out multiple lip products to do or to figure out what we're going to do. And all right, I am just talking way too much. I do already have on chapstick, concealer, face primer, foundation. My brows are done, and I think my brows are decent today. And then I'll watch it back and be like, no, you still ain't get it, girl. We're going to prime the eye, come back, jump straight into these palettes. For some strange reason, I didn't do a paper with the shadow names to put inside. Like for Madame Violet, I did labels on here. For this one, I didn't do that, and the names on the back, but we're just going to just roll with it. I'm not even going to bother holding up the palettes. We're just going to just do it, and we're going to make it work. So we're going to take this brush and we're going to go into this shade. Now the thing with these purples and stuff in here is that I told you that these are like shifty shades, and so I don't know how close they're going to be to, okay, to I need a different brush for this. This shadow is really creamy, so it's not wanting to really pick up much. I'm gonna have to take a different brush or just take my time with it, because it is showing up, and we are just doing our inner tear duct area with this shade. The thing with these two palettes is, yes, they're giving you options. If you have the New Zealand palette, Grace, I do believe, has done a few looks with that palette, and she does the Why You Don't Need series and new school versus old school, and so she will show you options with that palette, and I'm sure she has already. If I'm wrong, forgive me. And if you are interested in this palette from Spellcast Beauty and Madame Violet from Notoriously Morbid, feel free to use my code. This will give you options for that. And I do have other looks with this palette, and I believe it is in my, I think I have a Spellcast Beauty playlist. I do have a Notoriously Morbid playlist, quite a few, because I have one for every palette. And so if you would like some inspiration or just to see what can be done with it before you decide, this shadow is very, very creamy. I don't know if you can see these dips in here, because when I put the brush in it, if I swipe it, it'll just like move all the shadow. Sorry for poking you in the eye, but I am just trying to just get enough, like just to do the tear duct area. I am super excited, and so I kind of feel like I just need to excuse me, slow down. That reminded me I didn't do my intro. Hello and welcome if you're new here. If you haven't been here before, my name is Dion. If you've been here before, welcome back. I call this channel the Crazy Troll Nation. The crazy, because people will say that you're crazy for thinking that way. But the crazy, just knowing it's okay to be your authentic self. That's pretty. And the troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. That's really pretty. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to fall into the lie that you have to use a certain brand, a certain tool, a certain technique. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in the way that you want to get it on, because you need to be satisfied, excuse me, with what you do with your makeup and how you look with your makeup. The bottom line, however, here is, what am I going to do next? The bottom line here is, we're going to take this one. I didn't plan on taking that one, but we're going to take that one. The bottom line here is self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Listen, y'all, love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. That's what we stand for here. I hope it resonates with you. And I think that's it for the intro. 2 things to know about me if you have not been here before. Or if you watched the different video of mine and I didn't do the intro. That is pretty. This is a light shade, but it is really pretty. I curse sometimes because I curse sometimes. And we're going to take, jeepers, this is hard. We're going to take this shade right here. There's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups. Oh, that's pretty. Randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches, and I do try to be aware of it. We're overlapping with the first shade. I do try to be aware of it so that I can say, excuse me, whether I think you heard it or not. Y'all, this shade. I meant in the last video that I did, it was another beauty face-off. What did we use? Esom, their #1 balance palette, and their #2 intensity palette. And we did that on one eye, and on the other eye we did the Natasha Denona bronze palette. And I meant to turn off the ring light at the end because these lights do make things look lighter than they do without it. And so hopefully I won't forget this time, just so you can see, because this is how it looks now. But then with the bright lights off, or even just the ring light, overlapping. Actually, the second shade over here, I said the first shade, but I meant the second shade. So you can see what it would look like without, like, you know, all the lights, because the ring light is super bright. And I'm down to where when I do my live streams over at my desk, I only use the ring light, and it's bright enough. And so it is a bright light. But this is nice. I was going to put another shade here before we went dark on the outer corner, but we'll see. Because what I thought to do, that's not what I'm doing. And so I'm just like, I'm gonna do it now really quick. So this is what we have so far, and this is what this is looking like without the ring light. And so you see that inner corner shade, you see that very light purple next to that, and then you see this vibrant pinky purple shade, and this is what it looks like with the bright lights. You can still see the tones, but they don't look as light because of the light. Y'all, I know I'm not making sense. I want to put another color on before we go into that dark purple, and I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. We're going to take this one here, and I do have a link below also for Esom brushes. This one is the Esom brushes. The other brushes we will be using, only one Sigma brush. Grace has a code for Sigma if you're interested in anything from that brand, and her links and codes are in her description box, the same as mine are in my description box. We always have a lot of information in our boxes, and so be sure to check that out. If you're curious about joining, which I would love for you to do, because like the more the merrier, there is a link that you can click and it'll tell you what the perks are. And if it's worth the $2.99 a month for you, I would love to have you become an official Trollkin. And if not, that is okay too. I do involve the members with content creation because I want them to feel invested in the channel, because they are investing in the channel. And I do members only posts, polls, and things like that. And so if you want to have more to do with the channel than just watching me, that's the way to do that. And I know that was weird how I said watching me and then looked at me. I was seeing if the shadows were up the same distance, and they seem to be. They are blending out nicely. This is where I would not feel like I need to do a transition shade, but we are, because we have all these shades. And now we're going to take this one and we're going to go into this purple. And part of me wants to take this one, but I think this will blend into these shades. And so we're going to go dark. And if you are new here, I do love dark looks, dark shadows. My preferred aesthetics are grungy and also messy grunge, vampy, smoky, a little bit of punk with bright eyeliners for my upper lash line, and I like smoky looks. And so that's my vibe. Those are the different aesthetics I prefer. However, I do like monochromatic looks like these. They're easy. Everything is going to go together because they're all in the same color family, and they're quick to do because it's all going to go together. Whereas something else, I might have to put more thought into it to make sure it's going to look okay. And even if not, y'all, we're going to make it okay. That's just what we do here. We make stuff work. We double down. I never wipe off a look and start over. Not ever. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to finagle it, and we're going to work something out. And I do encourage you all to experiment with your makeup and to just have fun with it. The worst thing that can happen is you'll do something and be like, oh, I don't like it. And so you'll learn, you'll make a decision either to do that look again but tweak it, or to not ever do that look again. So either way, you're learning something. And I do think makeup should be fun. And I understand if you're going to work, or if you have to be somewhere, I don't think that's the time to experiment, unless you're like me and you're like, whatever we got is what we got and we're going to go. But if you in your downtime, like if you're just at home and you're just playing around with makeup, go ahead and just try something new. I have tried a lot of things, and some of them I'm like, wow. And other things are like, I like it, but I would do such and such different next time. So either way, you have nothing to lose. Either way, you're going to learn something. And I really like learning and doing, excuse me, new things. I did just have dinner a little while ago. I had some chicken wings that I cooked in my air fryer, and they were very good, very spicy. Oh my gosh, I like spicy food, and I do use a lot of hot spices, a lot of different peppers and stuff. But this is what we got. We're going to just take this on the edge of this brush, on the tip of the brush, the long portion of it, and we're just going to just drag this over. We're not adding more onto the brush, but whatever is still in here on the tip part, that's what we're bringing over, just very lightly. And we're not going back and forth. We're coming here and sweeping over, coming here and sweeping over. And I do like how that looks. And so we're going to leave this like this, because I do think we're going to put a shade, another shade up here. This is nice. Thank you, Bestie, for agreeing to this collab. We collab probably a few times a year. And thank you, Nina, for this idea, because I didn't think about it because I don't use that Nomad palette. For some reason, I'm thinking they had sent it to me in PR, and because it was mostly pressed pigments, I couldn't use it. And so I did message them and told them that I was going to pass it on to someone who can use pressed pigments, and they do a lot of looks, a lot of comparisons. They were going to do the palette justice, and so I sent them that message. before I sent it to Bestie, and she did, you know, she was doing some things with it, and so I was really, you know, glad about that. And so now we're going to take, I have an itch right here. I want to, part of me wants to use this, but this is bright, like under my brow. And I don't remember or not if this one made me look dusty. We're going to try it. We're going to go straight in. Ooh, this powdery. Ooh, okay, tap off. So we're going to just very lightly put that there because I don't remember what it looks like on me. Yeah, it's very dusty, which is not a problem for me. Oh, that's nice. So you see how I was like, I don't know, but then let's do it. And then I'm like, ooh, that's nice. So that's what I'm talking about. Just like, try different things. Even if you're not sure, just try it. And if it doesn't come out the way you want, I do think most things are fixable. They may take time, but I do think most things are fixable. And it also depends on like what you like for you. Like I just like doing different stuff. And so it works for me to just try different stuff, even if I don't know what it's going to look like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do it anyway. The brush that had that dark purple, we're not adding shadow onto the brush, but we're just feathering on that line because we want to keep that depth from that purple right here. So maybe I should go back in lightly, but we're not. We're just going to tap really lightly, and we're not going to tap off, and we're going to put that here because I did before in another look. Whatever the outer corner shade was, I brung it lightly over, and I liked how it faded into like this area right here, sort of like what this is doing. And I was like, wow. And I didn't intend to do that, but I did, and I really liked it. So there we are, back to just trying something different, and I liked it. I did tap in very lightly and did not tap off, just the very tip of this brush. I do think that's a little dusty. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this brush, and we use quite a bit from this palette. What do we use? 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 shades. I don't know. I think at least 4 shades. So I do want to use something else from here, even though we're putting 3 of these shades on our lower lash line. I want to put something bright right under the brow. So we're just going to take this shade, which looks pinkish, and so I'm not sure, but let's just do it. Or what I could do. No, I was thinking this color, but that turned up blue. Did I use this shade in this corner? I don't remember. Is that the first shade we used? Yeah, that's the first shade we used. So we're going to tap into this one. We're not tapping off, and we're just going to draw a line right under our brow. This was something I did one day too, and I was like, I like that. Every now and then I will do this with gel eyeliner and just put a line under my brow. Sometimes I do put liner in my brows. It's been a long time. I'm thinking of that old rap song. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Think of how many weeks shows you slept through. Time's up. Sorry I kept you. Eric B. and Rakim song. I like old school hip hop. And I'll be reminiscing. I'll say something that'll make me. I'll say something and it'll remind me of a song. And then sometimes I just be acting up. This one video, I forgot I did it. And someone messaged me and was like, your intro. Because I had said, yo, I be tripping. I had said, you know, we're going to prime your eye and come back. And then I was like, prime your eye, eye of the tiger. And then I was like, I'm tripping. I'm like, what? Yo, my brain is a scary place. I do like this look. I know some may not like how this shade looks up here, but I think it just flows, like it's different. And it does break up this brightness. Let's do it again. So that shade, this orange, you can see a shiny line up here, and that's what that orange did. And I do like that. I can see it more in the mirror down here where it's a little bit darker. It's shady down here, where up here is not. And so you see that. Oh, that's pretty. All right, so that's it for this palette. We used a lot of shades in here. I think we used 1, 2, 3, 4, either 5 or 5, and then 6. So we've used 6 shades from this palette. And so far from this one, we use one for inner corner, and I like that pop. And we're going to put these 3 on our lower lash line, and we're going to do that right now. Excuse me, you're going to hear a clink as I'm putting brushes away. We have out 3 of these. I have 4 total because I used one for tear duct area. And we're going to take the... I think this might be the darkest. So we're going to start here, and ooh, I'm going to use the mirror in the palette, and we're going to put this right here. Which one was that? Oh, the first one. That first purple. We're going to put this under here. I'm not going to ask who puts shadow on their lower lash line, because I feel like I ask that often, maybe like every 5 or 6 videos, not that I counted. That shade is pretty. That's the shade. And in person it looks purple. This is the shade I'm using. But on my, what do I have on my lower lash line? Lower lash line I have on Hellbent, which is a green from MAC. And on my inner rims I have on Sick Tap Bro, which is a brown from MAC. And I thought about to put the green under there because Janessa was on my mind because she likes greens and pinks. And so I was thinking, if this is going to be like a pink purple look, add some green. And it is one of the eyeliners that I pulled out to use rubber lash line, but we're going to figure that out, what we're going to do with that. Now we're going to take this shade over here, and that's going to go in the center of our lower lash line. Each brush gets its own shadow. So we're putting this here. Y'all, my concealer and foundation is creasing, and it usually does before I set it. And you can probably, you might not be able to tell, but, or maybe again, like you see my wrinkles, like that's creased. The concealer and foundation has creased. So we're going to put that down. Then we're going to go into the darkest shade, this one right here. And that's going to go out here. And I did this because I just wanted to use, this one gave me fallout. I wanted to just use more shadows from this palette instead of just using like one for lower lash line. And because these are all in the same color story, you know, it does all blend together. Oh, that blue though pops out. Oh! Excuse me. I like it. I promise y'all, I just be doing stuff and not thinking. I be just making noises. Like when I get excited about something, y'all. I'm starting to rethink, not that I was ever committed to leaving the country, but with all these plane crashes, I'm just like, I don't know. Like when I'm gonna get on another plane. But then whatever, I do believe whatever meant to be is gonna happen. And I know that may sound harsh. You know, I do believe in spiritual things and stuff like that. So, but it is still tragic. That inner corner shade is friggin' nice. So you see this palette is kind of messy. And so I'm just running my finger along the edges, and then I'm wiping my fingers on the cloth. This eye is starting to burn. I did get some shadow in my eye when I was applying the lower lash line color. We're going to take, I did put an extra little squirt of foundation there. So we're going to put that under there and under here. So we're going to blend that out some more, which gives me more stuff to crease under there because of all of my glorious wrinkles. You see that? Glorious, glorious. Excuse me, that wasn't glorious. Y'all probably like, girl, do you need an antacid? I have to remind myself, I have a tendency to wait until I'm like really hungry before I eat. And I don't know if there's something wrong with, or something that's not connecting when I'm hungry. Because sometimes I do feel hungry, but usually I don't. And then by the time I'm like, okay, I know I need to eat. I haven't eaten for a while. And then when I do eat, I'm just like scarfing it down. It's sort of like you don't feel hungry, but the first bite you take, you're like, oh my God, I'm starving. And so I have to make it a point to, that's pretty, to eat slow. So we're going to do something. Girl, they know you're excited. It's okay, calm down. I have 3 liners to choose from. What I pulled out to use, I'm not sure yet, is Mel Cosmetics, and this shade is Fortune. It's a green, but it shows a really dark on me, almost as a black. And so I'm thinking of that one. I have a green from Inglot. They have numbers, not names. This one is number 86. I don't think so. I thought about a purple from Inglot, but I do think it's going to blend in, and I don't want it to blend in. And this is number 75. So if we did this, it would blend in out here. But then also if we did this, I did pull out a white. I put that Inglot green one back. We have number 76, which is a white. So I'm thinking if I do the purple, the last look I did, I don't know when you're going to see that one, I just put a line, like a straight line, excuse me, above the wing of the initial eyeliner I put down. So it was like a double wing. So I'm thinking of doing that, and I did pull out the flat brush for that because then I can just stamp it. The thing with this white, it is very creamy. It goes everywhere. So that's the thing with that one. And so this may or may not work. I may need to use a brush like I used before that I thought maybe I shouldn't, but then it worked out really well actually. And that was the MAC 210 because how thin it is. And this is thin as well, but it is a little wider, the way the bristles are. And if I put too much on here, the line will be too big. But we're going to figure that out. We're going to figure out liner. We're going to powder down the face. We'll probably use Lavender Blonde since we're using like pink and grays. And this is what Lavender Blonde from House Labs looks like. We'll figure out bronzers. Mascara, I did bring out the Beyond Mascara. This is, the PAO is coming soon, and I do pay attention to stuff, especially mascara. So we're going to do everything. The different lips I pulled out to try, y'all. I pulled out this dark purple from Sephora. I pulled out Black Cherry from Sephora. I'm putting that back. I don't know. We're not going to do that. So I'm looking at the look. I pulled out this one because it's new. No, we're going to put that back. This is from Notoriously Morbid. I think it's from, it says it right here, right? Spellcast Beauty. And it was on clearance. I don't know if it still is or not. This one was also from Spellcast Beauty. I think this is too bright for that look, so we're going to put that back. So we have that dark purple I showed you already. And I pulled out these two thinking I would do an ombre lip. So we'll have the purple. We're going to do this one. We're going to do we're going to do an ombre lip with those two. So thank you for being here to help me figure that out. So we're going to go and we'll be back. Everything will be done. This is our look, y'all. I love this lip. This is number 135 Mystic Purple. When I do liquid lipsticks, I do along my lip line first, the top, then the bottom, then I fill in. I did not fill in this time. I filled in with this one, and this one is 124 Rose Instinct. So, and it was so easy to do. If you're interested in these Sephora cream lip stains, I do have a Sephora link below. It's affiliated. This formula only plays well with itself. Like seriously, because when I try to use it with anything else, it's just not good. But look, I do think, I love the look, first of all. I do think, though, this might be too much for some people, but just pretend it's like a full cut crease, even that's not what it is. But if you're thinking that line looks really harsh, like why is that there? Just pretend it's one of those. We did do the purple on the upper lash line. I'm talking loud, I'm so excited. And on top of the purple line for the wing, we went with a red, which is number 79. I thought about doing yellow, and I'm like, that's too much of a punk pop for the look that we're going for. And Bestie said purples and pinks, and so I'm trying to stick to that. And red is in the pink family. So, loving the Beyond Mascara. Look at my lashes, y'all. For face, excuse me, cashew powder from Fenty, of course. We used, Bestie sent me dark from Sephora, their bronzer, and free gift with purchase, I was able to pick a shade, so I picked deep, and so we have that on also. And we did go ahead and put on Lavender Blonde from House Labs as a blush, and for highlighter we did use Golden Pyrite from House Labs, and we then put on Mood Light all over because it's described as a sheer lavender pink. So I'm sticking with the theme here, okay? And then forehead, chin, and lightly in my cheek area, we used Eternal Light. It makes me toasty. So I'm going to turn out the lights so you can see what we're looking like. And yes, it's brighter on that side because of how my tripod is with the lights. But look at, you can see the blush, the highlighter, the bronzer, and you can see I use bronzer interchangeably as contour. You can see that down here. So this right here is my skin color. And so that's how I love it, y'all. I love this look. And so, and look at the eye look. Oh, I hope y'all are seeing what I am seeing, because down here in this mirror, it's bomb. So thank you again, Grace, for this collab. Thank you again, Nina, for the suggestion. Nina is one of my channel members, and so channel members do get to make requests, so that's another perk. So that's everything yeah, that we use. I'm looking at all this stuff here, but yeah, we're gonna go. Let me know what you think of this look. Do check out Grace's video. If I do have a picture from her, I'll put it up here. If not, you'll have to really like check out her channel. Check it out anyway, but check her collab video. If I have the link ahead of time, I'll put it down below. Either way, I will tag her. If you click her name, that'll take you to her channel, and then if you click on videos, this should be at the top, since this is the one that aired today. So we're gonna go. Stuff is popping up over here for you to watch. If you have time and you want to just continue hanging out, I would love for you to do that. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.